Welcome to Advent Encounter. This is our second week, and I hope you enjoyed the first week or the first chapter of the book, which just happened to be based on a true story. Our first Thanksgiving here. You remember that one?
Yes, all too well.
Yeah, so it is kind of true. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy this week's story as well. If you don't have the book yet, you can get it on Amazon.com. You can even download it electronically. But here we are for week number 2.
Happy week 2 of Advent. We are so thrilled that you're continuing to set aside time to prepare yourself for the coming of this Christmas.
We know it can be hard to find the time and the energy in the midst of everything else that's going on, but we've always found it so affirming in our own family to just take a moment to focus on Jesus through this tradition of Advent.
That's right. Time, energy, focus, these are just a few intangible things that we can invest in this Christmas time.
The challenge of this season, however, is that we can often feel lacking, that we're running on empty, that we're being stretched too thin, that we don't have enough. We can begin to wonder if we have anything to give at all.
And that brings us to the focus of this week's Advent candle. The second candle is the Bethlehem candle, which is the scene of the miraculous birth. But it's more than just a city or a setting for a story. You see, this candle has significance, the meaning Bethlehem. Bethlehem means house of bread, and it refers to the provision of God. He's our daily bread. He's our source of life.
In John chapter 6, verse 35, Jesus said, "I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry. Whoever believes in me will never be thirsty." And I think this is the perfect time to reflect on what that means for us. We're still a few weeks away from Christmas time, and perhaps our calendars are already filled with holiday parties and events, each one requiring our time and energy, special clothes, presents for gift exchanges, yet Jesus comes to provide.
Speaking of presents, we may be busy trying to find that perfect gift for everyone on our list. Some people have made wish lists, others have received wish lists. We still get wish lists from our kids.
We still give wish lists to each other.
Sailboat, just kidding.
Yeah. And some of you may be working out the family budget to include upcoming trips, travel to relatives, maybe even a vacation. And you're just wondering how you can make it work. With everything going on, it can be hard to feel like you have enough to give out. Whether you're 8 years old or 80 years old, for some of us, this is a season of intense stretching.
So what better time to remember that we have a provider, someone who gives abundantly and joyfully to us, who supports our every effort and cheers us on. Let's take this Advent moment to reflect on how God provides for us as we live out this season of giving. In Luke 6:37 through 38, we read the words of Jesus. "Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be poured into your lap. For with the measure that you use, it will be given to you."
In other words, as we give gifts to others, we also receive blessings in return. But what kinds of gifts is this verse referring to? Is it talking about the kinds of items we can buy on Amazon or from a local store?
Not really, though those gifts can be nice. This verse is talking about the deep and intangible things we can give people in our lives. And as we give them, we receive them as well.
That's right. This verse tells us to give the gift of radical encouragement instead of judgment, to give the radical gift of grace instead of condemnation, to give the radical gift of forgiveness instead of bitterness.
And to give away what we all desire most, love. We can find these gifts on everyone's wish list. Who doesn't hope to receive these gifts in this life? And the best part is that we've already received these gifts from the provider, from God Himself.
God gives us these gifts, and we then give them out to others, and then we receive even more blessings from sharing them out. It creates a wonderful cycle of giving and receiving what we truly need.
But these are only a few intangible gifts that we have to offer. How about the gift of hospitality, the gift of understanding, or the gift of listening?
Or the gift of friendship, or the gift of support.
And don't forget about the things we really hold on to tightly: our time, our attention, and our energy. We all hope to receive these gifts, and yet they can be so hard to give.
But if we live a life of generosity, we'll always have more than enough, because we aren't the ultimate providers, although sometimes we think we are.
There is a provider who looks out for us, who makes sure we never go hungry, we never go thirsty. Jesus, born in the city named House of Bread, is our bread of life. There's an unwritten wish list that everyone has. There's someone in your life wishing you wouldn't judge them. There's someone in your life wishing that you would have grace and forgiveness. There's someone in your life wishing for love.
I love that statement that there is an unwritten wish list that everyone has. It's really true. So if you know that you need to give out a certain gift this season of Christmas preparation, but you're worried that you don't have enough, remember that God specializes in these miracles of abundance. Let Him be your provider.
We have intangible yet transformational gifts to give this Christmas season. Choose to live a life of radical generosity, whether you have a manger or a mansion to offer, because you will get what you give.